Well, everybody, the auction got me again. Welcome back to Mohawk Motors, everybody. My name is Jason, and today we're gonna see if I got lucky or not. We're gonna find out if this thing will run. What is it, you ask? This one is a 2002 GMC 2500 HD. Has a 6-liter V8, 4-wheel drive. But the reason this one got me is because of the transmission. And yes, if you're already guessing, this one is a manual transmission. That's actually, with the exception of being an extended cab, a truck I've been after for a long time. Manual transmission, manual transfer case, but power windows and locks with remote entry. I've been hunting around, you know how much I screw with these trucks, and I've found it's difficult to find them with a manual transmission, a manual transfer case, but power windows, power locks, and remote entry, at least in my area. Finding these trucks with manual transmissions definitely seems to be a geographic thing, because farther north of me, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Vermont, those type areas, there seem to be a lot more of these trucks with manual transmissions. But here around me, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, you don't see a lot of these. You don't see a lot of GMT 800s with a manual, and you gotta, if you can get them at the right price, you gotta get them when you can. Now, the other nice thing about this one, as I mentioned, it came from the auction, but this one still has a clear title. And according to the auction, it only has 115,000 miles, which for these trucks is not a lot of miles. But it was listed as a mechanical damage, which who knows what that means, could be anything. The battery is dead, obviously. And that's all I know about it, aside from what we can see from the outside. And I'll give you a little walk around. So, GMC, obviously. It is one of my favorite colors. I love this shade of blue. That said, I think we're gonna be replacing a lot of the sheet metal on this truck. The fenders, from what I can see, and from the common rust issues, we're gonna be finding a new set of fenders for it. The doors, this driver's door's got a pretty good whammy. It does appear to be rust-free, but I probably have a nice straight rust-free door that we can use. So that door obviously needs to be replaced. The rear door obviously needs to be replaced. It does need rockers and cab corners, but I'm not real worried about that. It needs a lot of little odds and ends stuff, like this door handle's broken off. The seat is obviously, so many trucks have this issue with the seat, but the carpet's worn through. Lots of things that we can fix, we can improve, and we can make better on this. The bed is smoked. We're gonna find another bed for it. And it continues the same on the other side. Bumper, rusty, par for the course. This side of the bed, banged up. How's the passenger door? Passenger door doesn't look rusty. And it looks pretty straight. Oh no, she's been folded over. She's been hit on the edge too. So we'll get another door. How's the rear door? Rusty, so we'll replace that door. Rockers and cab corners on this side also. Passenger fender has a big whammy. Doesn't look as rusty. Oh no, she's rusty too. So fenders, and paint's cracking on the hood, so we'll have to, it's gonna need paint. But the big thing is this transmission. And it does seem to shift well. without the engine running, goes right through the gears, no problem. And under the hood, power plant, 6-liter LQ4 V8. Do we have oil? Well, we've got oil, dark but full. That's good. It means there probably aren't holes in the bottom of the pan. I only say probably. Yes. Antifreeze, coolant. Do we have any coolant in this thing? We do not. The reservoir is empty. So potentially a coolant problem, coolant leak. We do have brake fluid. When I press the clutch, it feels okay. Do we have any fluid in the master? Oh, we do have fluid in the master. That's good. No transmission fluid that we can check from up here. So what I really want to do is see if it'll run. I think first thing I'm going to try to do here is get the battery out and get it on the charger. Who knows how old this battery is? No date sticker on the battery. Last annual inspection was 2020. So she hasn't been off the road for that long. The tires are all holding air. Let's get the battery out and see if we can get it charged. And then we'll see if we can get it, see if it'll crank over. So somebody's employed the old 3/8 bolt trick here on the battery terminals. Not terribly surprising. Actually, to save us some time, I know I have a good battery that we can pop into this thing so we don't have to wait around for the battery to charge. And I'll put some actual GM batteries posts in there. We'll see if we can get the battery retainer out, because it needs to just be under the battery. Look at all these washers. Wow. Yeah, we'll see if we can get the retainer out and see about getting a good battery in this thing and seeing if it'll start. All right, place your bets. Will the battery retainer come out, or is the bolt seized and that's why it was still in there? It spun right out. Well, that was still in there because somebody was lazy. Easy. All right, got another battery here. Oop. There we go. Guys, I really just want to see if it'll run so it's easier to move around. It's going to be a while until I have time to get to this one, on account of the fact that the mileage is low enough and the truck is unusual and desirable enough that I'm probably going to give this thing the full treatment. You can see a little bit in the walk around, the frame isn't beautiful. I think it's just got a really crummy paint job on it. Because it's solid, I don't see any scaling rust, but all the paint is flaking off. But I have a beautiful, I mean, still looks factory fresh, extended cab 2500 HD manual transmission frame out back in another truck that I want to use for this one. And we're gonna do it up. It's gonna be what's it called? We're gonna resto mod this one. We're gonna take it back to as good as factory and then make it just a little bit better. All right. So, per usual, per always, do the positive terminal first. And I can get into this stupid boot. Come on. And for any of you not as familiar with these trucks, the 2500 HD, the 3500, and the 3500 HD series gas trucks with a manual transmission. That transmission was an is an NV 4500 5-speed. Now, the 1500 series trucks, those came with an NV 3500 5-speed manual. And your diesel trucks actually came with a 6-speed manual transmission, ZF6. Now, somebody can probably correct me in the comments down below. I believe the ZF6 was first put into these trucks in 2001. I think the 2000 Duramax GMT 800s got an NV 4500. I may be wrong. I'm not. It's difficult to find information on the 2000 model year Duramax trucks because I don't think there were very many made. But if you know, drop it in the comments for me. All right, there we go. Positive hooked up. Now I do the same thing with the negative. Maybe, if we can ram this little thing in. There we go. Oh, let's make sure the key's off. Key was not off, good thing we checked. All right, let's give her the smoke test here. We're getting a few little sparks. Oh, there's the door dinger. No smoke out here. No smoke inside. That's a good start. Did I mention that the reason this truck, or what the auction identified as the primary damage, was mechanical? So we're not sure what we're gonna find with this thing. Maybe the engine's locked up. Maybe there's a hole in the radiator and the people just didn't want to fix it anymore. Maybe the clutch is seized. Who knows? But I've got pretty much all the parts I could ever need to rebuild this thing. I mean, I could rebuild it from the ground up if needed. I know it's got oil in it. I'm gonna check the power steering. Power steering is full. Now, what I am gonna do, because in the off chance that this is a good engine, I don't want to accidentally throw a rod through the side of it because one of the cylinders has fluid or something in it, right? We don't want to accidentally hydrolock the thing. So we're gonna pull the ignition relay. And that basically means that we are not going to get any spark. But we should be able to hit the key and see if the engine will crank over. So let's do it. Oh, that's a successful test. It cranks over well. It sounds even. I don't hear any like gallops or limps. So I'm going to assume we've got at least similar compression in all 8 cylinders. So let's see if the fuel pump works, makes any noise for us. All right, so check this little guy out. I just recently found these. It's a little, basically a relay bypass. It's got the pins on it and a toggle switch, so I can turn the relay on and off as I please. So we're gonna pull the fuel pump relay, put in our little bypass here. See if we can hear the fuel pump come on. We're going to be very, very quiet and listen. Yeah, I can hear it. All right, you guys listen. See if you can hear the fuel pump come on. Oh, now I can hear fuel up here at the rail. We have fuel dripping on the floor? We do not. All right, so I can hear fuel moving through the rail. Yeah, can definitely hear that. So let's put the fuel pump relay back. Put my little tester back. We know it cranks, we know the engine's free. Hell, should we just see if it starts? It's got oil in it. Let's see if it starts. Got a misfire. If I were a betting man, I'd bet that it's got some either clogged or stuck injectors still sitting. But guys, it runs. I thought it was going to be way harder. Guys, it's got good oil pressure. It's running rough, but it's running. Well enough that I can move it around. Should we see if it's got a clutch? Well, let me rephrase. Should we see if it will move? It's got 119,000 miles on it. easier until I'm ready to get to this thing. Well, everybody, that went a lot better than I expected. My winning bid on this truck was, I think, $1,900. And for as low mileage as it is, and I mean, like I said before, like this truck, the 6-liter with a manual NV4500, I would not be shocked at all for it to go 300,000 miles on the original drivetrain. In fact, I've seen a lot of them that they're well over 300,000 miles on all original drivetrain. Maybe a clutch, but otherwise engine and transmission have been just maintained. So I'm really happy with this. 119,000 miles is baby mileage for this thing. And by the time I get it all fixed up, done up, the way I want to do it, it's going to be better than new. And I'm really excited to do that. But I have to exercise my self-control because there's another project that I've already been gathering parts for and getting ready to do and figuring things out. That's going to be the next project we start around here. This one is going to have to sit out back at least for a couple months until I get the next one done. And there may actually be 2 in line ahead of this one. I'll have to see how I'm feeling. But that's it for now. Thanks for all the good luck that you brought me. And until the next video, everybody, take care. Hey, everybody. Just as a quick reminder here, I had mentioned in previous videos that the next show I'm going to be at is the fall show at Carlisle in Pennsylvania. And that's coming up next Saturday, October 5th. So if you're going to be there, if you want to meet up, and I'm going to have the blue single cab and the silver single cab there at the show. If you'd like to come see him, meet up, hang out, comment below or shoot me a message through Facebook or Instagram. Hope to see some of you guys out there.